morning, happy Friday, and welcome back to the NOFO Live Show, where I, Sunita, along with my co-host Tracy, Miss Tracy Kessler, we hop on every Friday and talk about everything North Fork. Now, every Friday I give a weather report, but I can't give one today because I already gave one 2 minutes ago when I logged in incorrectly as NOFO style. I guess when you have so many different hats, you forget who you are. But anyway, welcome to the NOFO Live Show. Our guest today is a representative, Dan, from the Mattituck 5-day long event, I believe. But we can't wait to hear all the details. They have so much going on. Tracy and I were lucky enough. Good morning, how are you?
Good morning.
We're skipping the weather report. We're getting straight into it today.
I love it.
How cool was the first night of the festival? I mean, I can't believe after so many years of being on the North Fork, that was my first time to Hulling Night.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even really know that any of the activities that went on. I, in the past, had only gone on the weekend because my family comes from the, out west and Mid-Island, and that they could only go on the weekend. So I had never really gone earlier in the week, and
I think we went Father's Day because it's always or around Father's Day weekend. So I remember because my kids didn't grow up here, so that's I guess part of the little bit of not knowing the local community, right? Because we just came here for weekends, even though we visited for 12 years here. So I think we went for one Father's Day with my kids that were almost in their 20s by then, or close to. So it's a totally different experience versus when you bring your little kids. Tracy, are you there? Why are we having tech difficulties? Because I feel like I just lost Tracy, and I also lost the Mattituck Strawberry Festival. Tracy, are you still there?
I am.
It keeps saying you declined, and it also says Mattituck Strawberry Festival declined joining, which makes no sense.
Hi. It actually told me that the live ended, and I was like, what? Yeah.
I know. We talk about tech issues, but these are even more. So I don't know what's going on with Dan. I obviously can see that he's trying.
Yeah, he's here.
Yeah,
you are.
Can you hear me?
I don't see you. Okay, welcome.
I can see you if it's any consolation. Hello.
So, well, great. Welcome, because my screen says you declined to join, and I was like, okay.
I see him. I see him.
All right, so I'm going to have to do the show blind and just assume you're there. Good morning, Dan. How are you?
Good morning. How are you guys?
Great. What a beautiful day to start. Is it day 3 today?
Day 3. Yeah, 3. So I guess we're sort of halfway through. We go through Sunday. So down the home stretch now.
Well, why don't we back up for our viewers? Dan, tell us who you are and tell us a little bit about what we're here to talk about today.
Sure. So I handle all media and publicity for the Lions Club. And we're excited to be here with you guys today to talk about the Strawberry Festival, which it's really something that I think is, from a local standpoint, the North Fork community really rallies around. And it's grown so much over the last 68 years, which is crazy to think that this is number 68.
Wow, that is crazy.
So
as an event producer, I can attest that is a lot. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about the Lions Club, because you are involved with them, correct? And they're the ones that sponsor and put up this festival?
Correct. So the Mattituck Lions Club, our goal is kind of focused on giving back to both the local community as well as national nonprofit organizations. So sort of we use the festival as an opportunity to raise funds that we can then use throughout the course of the year to make donations and make sure that we're kind of, in particular, helping out the local community as well for a lot of the local nonprofits.
That's great. And so you had told us, we had a chance to walk around the festival on Wednesday with Dan. You had told us that you've only recently moved in like the last 10 years or so to the big soccer fields.
Correct. So it's actually, the festival was held at Mattituck High School up until the late 90s. So, it started in 1955 was the first festival year. And it really was not what it is now until probably late 90s, early 2000s. We moved over to the festival grounds, the Strawberry Fields. And it's sort of taken on a life of its own in the last couple of years. I'm sure I don't know if Tracy, I think you mentioned you'd been out on a Friday for possibly Saturday. So, Wednesday's sort of that local feel with Hulling Night. It hasn't really it's not big at that point. And then Thursday kind of bleeds together. And then Friday, it's just a whole nother beast in terms of the amount of folks that are coming through the gates, which is great. We love to see as many people out there as we can.
It was definitely a different feel on Wednesday night, and which, Sunita and I, obviously, we started the show. We love diving headfirst into the community and meeting everybody. So it was really fun for us to kind of go around and be like, hey, I know you, and hey, how are you doing? And you're here too. And so that was really fun.
As much as I don't want to spread the word about Wednesday night, because it really was a beautiful feel. Let's just go through day by day and see and give us a feel for what happens on which day, right? Because like you said, it has a different energy on different days. So Wednesdays, I don't want to say a setup day, but it's your opening night, and that's when you tackle all the strawberries that are used in the festival?
Yeah, so Wednesday is Hulling Night, so we'll have folks from the local community come out. A lot of people have been doing this for many, many years, like generations even. Folks will come out and help us hull the strawberries for our strawberry shortcake and for our daiquiris. And really kind of it's like a fun kickoff to the event, sort of it's almost like a light start, if you will. So Wednesday was Hulling Night, and then Thursday.
Let's just interrupt for 1 second, because I didn't know what hulling meant. So just for our viewers who don't know what that means, it means taking the green thing off.
I've got strawberries here, but I didn't bring a hulling straw. So essentially, there's a straw, and you basically take the green stem out. So they'll kind of pop that part out, and then we'll use those for our strawberry mash, for daiquiris, and then also for strawberry shortcake as well.
I feel like this is an opportunity for either like a raffle or a giveaway to say, how many strawberries do you think were hulled that night? Because until you go there, you have no idea of how many strawberries. I mean, I was taking pictures of the greens, the tops that were just hulled in boxes, mounds and mounds of it.
Well, I think it's interesting you bring it up, because our festival chairman, Jesse Gafka, this morning, he gave me the number, and I think it's somewhere between 150 and 200,000 strawberries overall throughout the course of the festival. And I know, you guys probably saw we have pallets set up, and it's just, strawberries everywhere at that point.
And it was lovely to see groups come together. Do you have to sign up? Because I saw people with aprons. They've been doing this, like you said, for years. Tracy and I for sure are coming back next year for Hulling Night and bringing an entourage. And if not an entourage, we're bringing Tilly, because it just seems like such a fun thing to spend your afternoon, evening doing.
Yeah, so it's really one of those things where folks just kind of show up, and like you said, people have been doing this forever. And it's something I think, like the festival overall, they kind of sort of look forward to it every year. And an opportunity to just kind of be among friends and family and the community.
Well, and also as an event producer, my mind went to, what a brilliant thought to get the guests to do your work for you.
I feel like I was waiting for you to bring that up. I think it's sort of I guess it serves a dual purpose at that point.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. It didn't feel like work, first of all. It felt like fun. Second of all, I think I got a free strawberry daiquiri out of it, so I'm good, because that daiquiri was so delicious.
Yeah, but think about it. If the Lions Club had to hull 200,000 strawberries on top of setting up the whole festival and doing everything, my God, that would have taken a week.
Right. But you also had all the food vendors lined up that day. You also had all the rides open. So kids can come, or kids and adults and young at heart can get a wristband the first night also. And so it's not only about the hulling, it's also the start of the festival itself.
And then last night, so we sort of get into the meat of the festival. So we had our second annual talent show last night, which was really cool. It was great. It was great. So we had that from, I think, 6 to 8:30, and had a huge crowd at the main stage. And I think it's one of those things where folks are kind of getting excited. Sorry, my screen looks like it paused at some point. So it's one of those things where I think there's a lot of excitement behind the community, and it went really well. And then last night was also the first night of our fireworks, which is the first of 3 nights of our fireworks shows, and they sort of ramp up from one night to the next, culminating on Saturday night.
I have some questions about the talent show. how do you apply? When do you apply? And what type of talents showed up last night?
So last night, so in terms of how you apply, we'll start putting out promotion a couple months out, and then we have sort of a trial run. We had folks by the Mattituck Theater last Sunday to kind of go through, and then we'll pull from that a list of folks who can perform on the main stage. And we have celebrity judges, everyone from our Strawberry Queen to some local folks to come out and kind of judge these folks. And it's everything from music to comedy to kind of any talent for that matter. We definitely don't discriminate in terms of what folks can do up on the stage.
Great.
And that's a big stage you have there. So tell us a little bit about it. I know you had live music playing the first night. What do you have going on in the stage the rest of the time? Yeah, so it's, we have live music, and then throughout the course of the weekend, so we'll have bands on there tonight, and then throughout the course of Saturday. And then Saturday really kicks off sort of our main program. We have at 3 o'clock a check presentation from the Lions Club to the Smithtown Guide Dog Foundation, which is one of our charter partners that we work with and donate to. And then at 4 o'clock, we have the Strawberry Queen ceremony. So that is the crowning of our 2023-2024 Strawberry Queen, sort of the passing of the baton from our current queen, Francesca Lynch, and really just kind of a great experience. You know, the folks that these girls that we're kind of bringing up on stage are really just tremendous from their background and some of the accolades that they've built up throughout high school. So again, just a cool opportunity to, and then at 5 o'clock, we have the World's Strawberry Shortcake Eating Championship, which is brought to us by our friends at Major League Eating. And it's, you know, if you've ever been, it's funny, I think I had been to a Nathan's hot dog eating contest years ago, but watching someone consume last year, I want to say it was 18 pounds of strawberry shortcake. It's just it's sort of another level. And, you know, the speed with which they do it in 8 minutes or 9 minutes or whatever it is. So I think that'll be exciting. Hopefully we'll see if someone can break the record. I want to say it's 22 pounds or somewhere along those lines. Wow. And that happens on the big stage. So it's something people can easily view. It's not like at a table on the ground. Correct.
Wow. And
that sounds fun. Well, that shortcake is delicious.
Fireworks every night. So yeah, exactly. So we had fireworks kicked off last night, tonight at 10 o'clock, and then Saturday night at 10:15. And like I said, it definitely gets a little bit better. I mean, they're all great, but it gets a little bit better as you lead up to Saturday. Saturday is, I'll go out on a limb by saying it is borderline, you know, Disney level firework experience. So it's one of those things where in the festival, folks can see it from, you know, other parts of Mattituck. They really put on an amazing show.
That's fantastic. And what time does that start? You said around 10 o'clock?
10:15 Saturday night, and tonight is 10 o'clock.
Okay.
Speaking of Disney, like a couple of years ago, this is before COVID, I was there on, I guess it must have been Saturday night or whichever day that you had the Strawberry Queen crowning. And whoever the young lady was, that's the only year I saw them. She was amazing. The way she carried herself, because I think they spent a couple hours after the crowning just walking among the crowd. And there were so many little girls that just had this, you know, looking up to this princess vibe. And the way she handled herself, the way she interacted with the crowd just warmed my heart. So I love that tradition. And I think it's so nice to have young girls have role models to look up to. And like you said, these girls or these young girls are selected based on what? On their academics, or is it a local community?
So it's a combination of sort of, yeah, so it's a combination of academic, their merit in terms of what they do from community service, and you know, they have to go in front of a panel of our team from a judging standpoint, and then ultimately are kind of selected based on that.
Well, it was amazing to watch the interaction between really young kids and her. It was great. So I think I look forward to wandering around and watching that. And then I was like, wait, not everybody wants a crown.
And Dan, is there admission to get in?
Yeah, so there is admission, and then once folks are in, there's an opportunity to purchase ride bracelets. We have a sort of food court area, which includes sort of the more traditional carnival fare, as well as, I guess I'm sort of calling it our food truck alley. So that's a lot of the local food trucks that folks see at the wineries and the breweries. And I think that's a cool opportunity for, oh, lost my camera there, an opportunity for folks to kind of see some of their favorites come out and really, get a chance to kind of experience a lot of different types of food.
And there's like an artisan area too, right? Are there vendors this year?
Yeah. So we've got a craft and vendor setup. I think it's upwards of 25 or so. And that's folks from pretty much all over Long Island with a lot of local ones as well. So in between rides or, grabbing strawberry shortcake under the hauling tent, you can kind of wander over there and see if you find anything you like.
And then you have all the traditional carnival games and carnival rides, right?
Yeah, so we work with Rice Shows who travel the country, essentially putting on all these amazing shows around the country, and they have 3 new ones. There's actually a new ride this year, a New York Funhouse, which I was just at before.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Themed. Yeah, so it's themed. It's got like Central Park in Brooklyn and kind of this whole cool stuff.
Well, Tracy, we walked past it, but it's inside.
Okay.
So from the outside, it looks like not a possum. I have a picture because we did walk past it, but I guess all of this is inside that, correct?
Yeah, so you'll see it from the outside, and you walk in, and it's got that whole kind of funhouse experience. And then right adjacent to that, and last night the line for this one was super long. Is the
I know what you're going to talk about. It was scary looking. There is no way I'm standing in the line, but you're right. The line was very long for the Hulk. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. And I think all the kids see it and they get excited. So
I really wanted to go on it. I did. But I had Tilly with me, and I was like,
wait,
all right,
after you saw it go upside down and pause, did you still want to go on it?
Yes.
Wow.
I can do upside down. I can't do like in a circle. That gets me sick.
Well, that one looked really fun. I mean, obviously the zipper that everybody knows, and this did look really fun. I mean, you won't catch me on it, but I'll take a video of you, Tracy. As your legs dangle and you're screaming. I think we have a video of it, right, Tracy? We'll post
yes.
that.
Oh, yes. I'll share some videos of it. Yes.
You said there's 3 new ones, so that's the second. What's the third then?
That is actually a great question.
What about the one that was in the same line as the Hulk, but it like has an arm that then swings from side to side? I don't know what it's called, but I have a video. Do you know which one I'm talking about, Tracy? We were like, oh my God, there's so many young kids on it.
Yes, it was the one that Kayla would freak out on. Yes, I know which one you're talking about. I forget the name of it, but it goes like this.
Yes.
There is the Himalayan, which is the roller coaster. My son actually dropped his phone on it yesterday, so I've got to do a little recon.
Actually, even on the Hulk, I saw somebody holding her phone, and I'm thinking, you're going to be included in the second Hulk.
That's bad news right there. That's it waiting for it to fall down.
I didn't see this when we were there, but I saw somebody's video of it on Instagram that there was a monster truck one, which I know my nephew would love. I was like, oh, we might have to go just for that.
There's so many rides. There's just so many rides and so many food things. I think even if you walk the grounds a couple of times, you might miss a few, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the cool thing is it still has that, those traditional rides. So you're throwing the ball to win the fish and like all the typical carnival stuff that you find at those places. So I love that it's a nice mix of like a traditional carnival, but we still have that local feel.
Yes.
So, when folks come out from the North Fork community, they get a chance to kind of see their friends, folks that they know, and also kind of experience some of our local vendors as well.
I love that. Well, so Dan, we usually end our show asking our guests the same 5 questions about the North Fork, but we're going to switch it up a little bit tonight and kind of focus the question on the festival. So I'm going to kick it off. I usually ask people if you're going to take us out to lunch, where would you take us? So I'm going to say, if you were going to treat us to some of the food at the festival, what would you buy for us? What would you get for us?
So that is, I think that's an easy one to answer. So our strawberry shortcake is something that people are probably driving from the entire metro area to come have. So I would give you strawberry shortcake, probably a daiquiri, although you might be in like a sugar overload at that point.
It was worth it. It was worth the sugar overload of the daiquiri.
I know you had one on, I had one on Wednesday. But the shortcake is sort of the no-brainer. It's the way to go.
Oh, we're gonna have to go back. I took pictures, but I didn't take a sample or a bite. So Tracy, I think we need to go back.
We can make that happen. We can make that happen.
Okay, so typically I would say, where would you see a great sunset? But this is what I want to know. Which ride can you see a great sunset from, you think? Because do the rides go on all the way till the fireworks, or do they stop before the fireworks?
They'll still go.
So you could be on the hump spinning while you see fireworks in the sky.
Yeah, so it would probably be the Ferris wheel. I will say, though, if you are interested in kind of watching the fireworks but not on a ride, if you go right in front of the main stage, that's where I was last night, it's perfect right there, and that you'll see kind of everyone just congregate around that area. And by Saturday night, it'll just be full.
So directionally there, if you have to be looking at the stage and they'll come up from behind the stage, basically, kind of?
Yeah. So they'll be coming up like by the road area. So if you position yourself to the right of the stage, adjacent to the hauling tent, look up. You won't be able to miss it.
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect. That sounds great. In terms of food and drinks, I know there's a lot of options, but what would you, or did we already talk about food and drinks, Tracy?
We did talk about food.
I guess I was trying to figure out how to spin the vineyard question.
All right. I would say, have you played any of the games? And if you haven't, did your sons play any of the games last night?
They did. I don't think I've played one in years. They played them not last night, but I think last year or 2 years ago. They played the fish, like throw the ball into the fish tank, and I think we actually got like 3 fish that are still alive somewhere in a pond right now. The goldfish, you get them from like the carnival, and then they get huge. But yeah, I sort of I'm more of like the traditional carnival food, like go to corn dog, funnel cake, get that whole experience.
Somebody I know likes.
I would not let
names.
us
I don't know if
leave.
I'm pointing in the right direction because where your square is, Tracy.
Yeah.
Some of us like the fried Oreos.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I can't leave a carnival without fried Oreos. So
yeah, that's a staple.
Well,
that's a staple. Fried Oreos.
I can't leave a carnival without Balo's food.
White powder all over my
Yeah, but that's the fun about being in the carnival. You got to experience it the way it is. I was particularly happy to see Chef Balo there, and a couple of other people we featured on the show. I think Megan from North Fork?
Flower
Shop.
Flower Shop. Yeah, she's got some amazing stuff.
Yeah.
It's good. Okay, so now obviously there's not enough strawberries on the North Fork to be able to feed the entire festival, but you do also sell some local strawberries, correct?
Yeah, so we'll have sort of as many local strawberries as we can get. I think just given the volume, like I said, it's 150 to 200,000 strawberries that will go through across the board. Something like 18 to 20,000 chocolate covered strawberries alone, which are another. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna make an addendum to my food recommendation, so that gets added on. Exactly. Yeah. You can throw that in the list too. But yeah, so we kind of have as many local berries as we can, and then we supplement it with other strawberries just because the volume is so much.
Is there a particular farm that the berries that you're selling from are, or it's an assortment of several?
Sort of several combinations.
Great.
Well, Dan, it's been so great talking to you. We are honored to have this, staple of the North Fork on the show. So thank you for coming on the show. Why don't you just wrap up our show talking about what the Lions Club and what the Strawberry Festival means to the community and what the community means to you guys?
Yeah, I think for us, the community, especially being in the Lions Club, the community out here in particular, just because it's such a close, sort of tight-knit community in terms of everyone knowing each other, the community is super important to us, and I think we like kind of working with them and sort of the festival in general, being able to kind of give back to them to the extent that we can. And also, I think the thing that sort of, for me, just personally stands out about the Strawberry Festival is that, while it's kind of gotten bigger, significantly bigger over the last 68 years, it still feels like that small town. You guys came on Holing Night, you're seeing people and it's just got that vibe, which is different than probably a festival anywhere else that's this big. And I think that is what kind of separates it. And it's why people, come back and they look forward to it every year. And it has that sort of generational tie, people holing for 20 years and sort of passing it down. So for us, we're embedded with the North Fork community, and it's, they kind of keep us going. And, our goal is to really kind of support them as best we can.
Well, it's a wonderful cause to go out for, not to mention it's a grand old time. So I hope everybody will hit up the Strawberry Festival this weekend. I know a bunch of my friends are going, and we're going to try to drag the family that comes out to hit it up on maybe Saturday or Sunday as well.
All right, I'll have the shortcake ready for you guys, and maybe some fried Oreos. We'll see if we can.
Don't forget the chocolate covered strawberries, please.
We're just going to I'm going to make a plate. I'm going to make a whole plate. We'll be ready to go.
Well, Dan, on behalf of all the little kids and all the kids at heart, thank you for continuing to produce this for 68 years. That's awesome. And we hope it keeps thriving and growing. And I'm hoping to make it back this year, but I'm already looking forward to next year.
Sounds good. Well, I appreciate you guys having us on, and looking forward to seeing everyone this weekend.
Thank you. Have a great weekend, everybody. Bye.
Take care.
Happy Father's Day.